What is going on, YouTube? Hoping everybody out there is doing really good today. Myself, I've had better days, to be honest with you. To be completely frank with you, today's probably one of the worst days I've ever had in my entire life. I don't know if you guys have ever felt this way, but I almost felt compelled today to just make this video to kind of vent, because I don't really have that many people that I could really vent to. But from what I've noticed, a lot of times you guys really do resonate with the stuff that goes on. I can't get into too much details just yet, but I will in the future make a full video, maybe even a series on what I'm going through right now, which is really difficult. I'll be completely honest with you. It does have to do with a legal matter, and I can't give you too many details, but I will tell you this much. Our legal system is completely broken in this country, if you don't know that already. It really does not favor, doesn't favor the right people, let's just put it that way. And I'm going through a really tough time right now, and today we had it was a court meeting via Zoom, and it turns out that what I thought was going to be maybe a settlement or something, mediation, just turned into a total nightmare, a really nightmare, to the point where I almost felt like I felt like giving up, guys. I felt defeated, completely defeated, and I really couldn't even think and breathe or talk. I don't know if that's ever happened to you guys. I'm going to try to give you a little bit of a background on this. So about 3 years ago, I had an issue, real estate related issue through my company, and it turned out not to be really, it wasn't really a big deal. Like, it's nothing. Like, if I told you what it was, you guys would probably laugh. But I didn't think it was a big deal either. But it turned out that it is a pretty big deal to the attorney who, in his law firm, who just want to try to go after, just anybody. They just try to go after everybody and anybody to see what sticks. And I ended up falling into a class action lawsuit that I can't really give you too many details about, but it's a horrible thing. It's a really horrible thing, because as a small business owner, how do you defend yourself against that? And they're a national big company, and they just want to go after a small guy like me to try to get me for anything I have. And it's rough, because here I am just trying to make a living, trying to do what I can to be a good father, to be a good leader, to run a business, to do just to get ahead, guys. Not even be rich, but just to make an honest living. And today felt like everything was literally going to be ripped away from me. Not just everything, but income I didn't even have yet. Like, the amount of money these people were talking would have bankrupted me like many times over. And I felt like, what can I do? I feel like my hands are tied behind my back. I really have no help here. Unfortunately, the attorney that I paid to help me out, he at the last minute switched attorneys on me. He put someone else on my case. The guy knew nothing about my situation. I had to bring him up to speed myself. So it's a complete joke. I don't know if that's ever happened to you guys, but you know what? I always feel like, God is my attorney. God, you guys may not agree with that. I feel like God is my attorney. God is my surgeon. God is my pilot. God is everything. So whether I get this new guy who doesn't know much, I know that God's still pulling the strings. So now my situation is not quite over yet. We still have to, in the future, we have to meet again, because obviously we were worlds apart on some kind of a settlement. I would love to settle, don't get me wrong, but I have to be able to survive too. And I know that there is one thing that is really just keeping me in there, which is I don't know the outcome yet. I do not know the outcome. And the fact that I'm worrying now about what hasn't happened yet, and when it does happen in the future, whether it's good or bad, I may have to worry about it at that point as well. So why worry about it now and then again later? So what I'm doing right now to try to keep myself sane, I took the afternoon off after trying to get as much work as I could done today. Took the afternoon off, and I came to play a little basketball just to keep my mind occupied and just get some fresh air and try to feel a little bit better. And I was listening to a preacher, I forget his name, but I'll link the video I was just listening to in the description section. And he spoke about a proverb 30. And he really broke it down to basically how King Solomon, I'm not sure if you guys know, wrote Proverbs And he was the wisest man who ever lived, the richest man who ever lived. He'd be worth trillions of dollars today if he was still around. He wrote a lot of really good spiritual and real life wisdoms that we can just live our life by. And a lot of the parables that he talked about in Proverbs 30 really just hit home with me. It just made me feel a lot better. So, you know, now I feel like, you know, it's gonna be okay. Maybe tomorrow is gonna be a new day, and I'm gonna wake up with new energy. I'm gonna wake up with feeling like, all right, well, I don't know about you, but I tend to perform better when I've got the chips stacked against me, when people are rooting for my demise, when like being the underdog. Not that I like being in the underdog position, but when I feel like I am the underdog, I tend to get motivated. That's when I really, really just want to turn up the juice. And I hope if you guys have ever gone through something like that, and you currently feel like that now, or maybe you've gone through something like that recently, you know, I hope that this video is somehow helping you, because it's not fun, man. And you know, there's a lot of evil thoughts that go through your mind, a lot of bad thoughts that go through your mind when something like this happens. You know, God forbid it, you know, if I was someone else, or maybe a weaker, you know, a position or place in my life, like something like this would literally have somebody just call it quits, you know, like end it. You know, it's not that it's, I know you guys have all heard the stories of the bankers jumping out the windows of the high rises when, you know, the stock market crashed. And I always thought to myself, like, why would these guys ever do that? You know, and not that I would do that, but I could see now why. You have so many people that depend on you. You have so many goals and visions for yourself that because of what your circumstances are at the moment, you may not be able to really fulfill your obligations. And that, as a man, it really does wear on you to the point where it breaks your soul down. And I know women out there that feel the same way. Maybe you're a single mom, or maybe, you know, you've got a lot of responsibilities on your plate as well. I know that you probably all feel the same way as me. But I will tell you what, from the sermon that I just heard from this preacher, I encourage you to listen to it. I'll leave it down in the description. You always have to, what he said that I really enjoyed was that you always have to plan for the future, because we're going to spend the rest of our lives there. So with that being said, if I am going to worry about something that's bothering me today and it's from the past, and I keep dwelling on that, or I don't change my mindset, I don't change the way I'm acting because I'm worried about what may happen, then that means the future is going to come and I'm not going to be prepared for it. So instead of just worrying about that, I really need to focus on what to do next. What's going to be next in my business? How am I going to pivot from this? How can I get up after being knocked down by the circumstances that I personally was not expecting? I'm sure if you've been in this position, you weren't expecting that, because it's not like we wake up one day and we're like, okay, today I'm gonna get into a car accident and I may end up in the hospital. How am I gonna prepare for it? Of course, you know, those aren't the circumstances that we're ever expecting, but they happen. It's life. You know, why do these things happen? I know that when I compare my situation with whatever just happened to me, you know, with this situation I'm going through, is nothing compared to the problems that other people out there may be having. So yeah, I am having one of the worst days probably in my existence, probably in my life. But I will tell you this, I am very blessed. I am very grateful for everything, for the other 99.999999% of the things that I have in my life, which include my family, my health, you guys, the ability that I could walk around this beautiful park here with this beautiful sunset. The sun's setting over there, but the sky looks really nice anyway. But the ability, guys, that I could walk around free in the United States of America, you know, and I could really make this video and to talk to you guys with this cell phone that did not exist, not even 10 years ago, 15 years ago, where I can broadcast this to other people and we can help each other. And I know that when things get really bad, really, really bad, you know, they can only go one place from there, right? We can only go up. So I really, truly hope that this lesson that I'm going through right now, that God is putting me through, is for a purpose. And I know it is, because God doesn't do anything in our lives that don't better us, or they don't build character, I guess you would call it, right? These character building situations in our life are not just for, I guess you would call it shits and giggles, right? I guess it's not just, it's gonna make us a better human being. I truly believe that in my heart of hearts. So what am I taking away from this? What is my lesson that I'm learning here? Because in life, you know, we either have wins or we have lessons. We don't have losses, we have wins and we have lessons. So with this lesson, what I'm gonna tell you that I'm feeling is what I'm learning is that in life, when you're doing something, you really have to ask yourself, am I building the right way? Am I doing everything the right way, morally, ethically? Is there anyone that I could be damaging with what I'm doing? If the answer to that is no, and you're just doing it for the good of people, and you're bettering everyone without having to cut any corners, without having to do anything that's borderline gray area, then that's what you should really aiming your life to, is to really just do the right thing. Because in my situation, even though I didn't really do anything, in my opinion, that I thought was wrong, I could have done better, and I could have made sure that what we were doing at the time that got me into the position that I am right now or today, I should have been more responsible, more careful with the practices that we were into. You know, when I tell you guys one day what it is, you're gonna laugh and you're gonna be like, oh my God, everybody does that. But just because everybody does it does not make it right, you know, and so is life. Just because everybody does something, like, I don't know, maybe, who knows, maybe try to like skim off the top when no one's looking, or, you know, I don't know, you know, just there's things that you know are not illegal, but they're in this gray area that you don't know if I don't get caught, that means it's okay, no one's watching, you know, or, you know, maybe I could cut a little bit more off my taxes, you know, things like this. They're not worth it, guys. I am telling you right now, they're not worth it. If you live your life righteously, you do what you know, you can lay your head down on your pillow at night and know that no one's ever going to be come knocking at your door or sending you those nasty letters or having you subpoenaed for something. Like, it's horrible. Some of the worst feelings in your life will be when you owe the IRS, right? That's a nasty feeling. Or when you have to go to court for something that you're going to try to defend yourself for, that you know that you did nothing wrong, but you got to do it anyway, right? Because if you don't defend yourself, you're just going to make matters worse. But hey guys, I don't know if I'm resonating with you guys in this video. I don't know if you guys have really ever gone through a really, really bad day and you really just kind of needed to vent out. And I'm not sure if this video will get any views at all, or if maybe that's not even my intent, but maybe if you're that one person or a few people who watch this who are like, you know what, I am having a horrible day, and the only thing that would make me feel better is to hear this guy's even worse day. So let me hear this guy's day and see if I can make it any better. And unfortunately, I'm sorry, but I can't give you the details right now. But just know this, there's people out there who are going through a much worse time than me. But in comparison to what I've gone through in my life, this is one of the top 3 probably worst things that has happened to me so far, even though it hasn't really happened yet. But just not having closure on it is really just as bad. So I can't wait to be able to just disclose everything to you guys. And to be honest with you, there's a lot of content, there's a lot of things that I've been wanting to talk to you guys about for years, but I haven't been able to because this lawsuit has been ongoing. So I'd have to be very reserved about the things I talk to you guys about. But sooner or later, this thing will come to an end and you guys will know a lot more, and I'll be a lot more open with you guys about what it is that I'm going through, that hopefully you guys never have to go through. And you know, we'll all grow together from this experience, and let's not let it go in vain, because nothing in life that's this painful should ever be forgotten. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are having a much better day than me, and if you're not, I'll be praying for you anyway. If you guys want to see more videos from me, they're not all this depressing, I promise you, they're not. Go ahead and check out one of the ones on the screen right now. Thank you guys for watching. I love you, and I will see you next time.